Can I press the button?
Yes.
Can I do it this time?
Absolutely. Hit it.
All right, go ahead. Nice.
Why don't you do the intro today, Ryan?
Welcome back to the How to Ski It podcast. There's 4 of us here for episode 8. And today we have an interesting episode. We're going to talk about applications. The ones on your phone that help you determine where you want to go skiing on a ski day.
Or the lack thereof.
Or the lack thereof. So, should be pretty interesting.
Well, so first, why don't we get into it with where'd everybody get off to last week? Where'd everybody go skiing?
I went up to Keystone on Saturday, beat the traffic, got up at 5:30, hit I-70 before 6 a.m. A little congestion in the tunnel with the new snow, but it was a good day. It was out of there by 12:30, beat all the traffic on the way home. So, really can't complain, yeah.
I didn't go skiing. I played Call of Duty all weekend.
Nice.
Dylan?
I've had a slow start to the year. I have not gone skiing either since after Christmas. I just got back into town from Arizona, and you're looking at me because you think it's windy in here.
No, it's for plosives, Dylan. Keep the wind sock on.
Anyway,
what's going on?
Anyway, I got back in town and was sick, so blah, blah, blah. I have not been skiing since I took Riley up the day after Christmas.
Gotcha.
I went to Vail.
Do you ski anywhere other than Vail now?
I learned a couple things, so I'll try not to abscond this whole podcast. But Friday I went to Winter Park, and it was awful. They got 6 inches of snow, and it was 6 inches of this light champagne powder on top of like really hard as a rock snow. So it played like a half inch of snow, and it wasn't very good. And then so I decided to take Saturday off and not go to Keystone with Ryan. And then Sunday I was really down on skiing after Friday. So I went back to my happy place, which was Vail. And sure enough, like great skiing, back bowls, I could go on all day, but Vail isn't having the season that everywhere else is with the lack of snow. It's my 6th day at Vail, and Vail's firing on all cylinders. So super happy. But what brought us to this is there's finally snow, not only snowing, there's snow on the ground in Boulder, Colorado. There's snow on the ground where I live up in the mountains above Boulder, and everywhere in the state got snow. And so how do you decide where you're going to go skiing? And you can look at the ski report, but that's for yesterday basically.
Right.
And then so the big new thing maybe 7 or 8 years ago, maybe less than that, 5 years ago, was the snow stake cams.
Mm-hmm.
And so the night before I went skiing, the day I went to Winter Park, because the storm came in that evening. So I was looking at the snow stake cams all night, and I was looking at the snow stake cams in the morning, because you got to leave. And remember, we've said get on I-70 by 6 a.m. So you kind of have to have committed, maybe not to a specific area,
but to going.
And then, you can commit to like Summit County, or you can commit to Winter Park, the Fraser Valley, whatever, but you can't just make it up as you go like you used to be able to. And so these snow stake cams play a major role. And some of the ski areas really suck at doing the snow stake cam. That I feel like Copper Mountain's always done a good job, but the light bulb is out, so you can't see theirs at night.
Oh, interesting.
And
Which is when you want to see it.
Which is when I want to see it.
It's 7 p.m. or at 4 a.m. when I get
6
up.
a.m. Yeah. It's still dark.
And then Winter Park's isn't too bad. That's why I decided to go to Winter Park. I woke up and I could see there was somewhere between like 3 and 5 inches, but their camera is coming down at like a little bit of an angle. So it's hard to tell, it's not like, it doesn't appear that it's straight on. So it's hard to tell how much snow they got. And then and we can go on all day. I don't know what feedback you guys have. Vail's, I use a Mac and a Safari, and they just didn't work, period. And then the mountain that just completely aced it was Steamboat. And they not only have a measurement for that night, like most of these places either wipe them off at 4 p.m. or like 4 a.m. or somewhere around there. And Steamboat has one that's from this storm
Oh yeah.
and last night. And I woke up and looked at theirs. And that's part of why I went to Winter Park, because I was like, we can keep going to Steamboat the next day. And you couldn't make out anything on theirs because there was so much powder.
That's awesome.
They've been getting crushed.
Yeah, they got like 25 inches in a couple days. And
Dude, they're the big winners for the last 7 days.
yeah, tell me.
Fun fact,
So-
hold on, about their snow stake is they have an automatic arm that swipes it off.
Oh, neat.
I've seen it in action. It's actually really cool.
Hey, before I
Steamboat
get
does?
into the,
Wow.
That is a fun fact.
before I get into the last 7 days of snowfall, how was Keystone? Just
Oh, conditions were good. The corduroy there in the morning's great. There's just enough snow to cover up the ice. So going down the middle, I don't usually do it anyway, but if you were gonna, yeah, it was a little dangerous. But went down the backside and there's some soft snow. There's some bumps, soft snow in the bumps. You know, there's still in between the bumps skied out, and you can see some dirt and some rocks. You're gonna hit rocks. I mean, it's this time of year no matter what, but it was soft. It was good. It was a day skiing. I need to get back out there, so no complaints.
nice.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it wasn't Vail, that's for sure, or Steamboat.
Last 7 days, according to the report, and I'll get into which app this is, but last 7 days, Winter Park 15, Beaver Creek 11, Vail 15, Keystone 4, Steamboat between 26 and 35 inches over the last 7 days.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
So that's I'll get into the forecast for that as well off this app. But why don't you guys? I've got a top 3 apps that I like are my go-to apps whenever I'm trying to look at what resorts have either what they've been hit with the last week or what I might be wanting to go to in the coming week. Y'all want me to start it off?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Let's talk about what we each individually use. Ryan, is there one main go-to what's the snow conditions like app that you use?
So 3 or 4 years ago when I first got my Icon Pass, it was the Icon app.
Yeah.
I was dead. It was before I had a Garmin and I was really into Strava and all this stuff. So I track my days and I would look at snow reports on the Icon app. Since then, I've gone away from that and I use On the Snow and I use the basic Weather Channel app. I look at weather patterns, radar, and see where's the snow actually going to be. Usually make the determination the night before, and then I'm just committed to the resort I said I was going to. Between On the Snow now and the Weather Channel app, I'm more of a weather-based app, looking into the future, trying to predict who's going to get the snow, rather than looking at 10 different snow state cams or blah 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 blah. That's just kind of how I've been going about it, and also I just go where everybody else is going sometimes. I just go skiing.
Dylan, what do you use?
This is going to be a fascinating conversation for me because my answer is the Icon Pass. I'm just a couple of years behind you, I suppose. I personally will use the Icon Pass. I don't stop there, to be honest. I look at it as an overview because I have my favorite mountains starred, and it gives me an idea of where snow's at. But I'm the kind of one person that will then go to the Winter Park state cam and verify. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. That's what the Icon said. So I'm curious to hear what you guys say because, is the Icon app inaccurate or just less information that you get?
I tried really hard whenever I was looking through a bunch of different apps to see if any of them seemed inaccurate. None of them that I came across seemed inaccurate. So it's kind of which one displays the data in a way that is most helpful to you versus which one is most likely to be correct. Obviously, forecasts are always up in the air. So whether you're using the Weather Channel or NOAA or whatever, they're always best guess.
I go into it knowing that.
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
like I'm not disappointed when I get up there and it's a bluebird day and you're
right.
like, well, it said it was going to snow, but it's not.
Yeah, Ryan introduced me to the On the Snow app, which I do like the On the Snow app, but in researching, I found another one that I have fallen in love with, and it's my go-to. every day almost. It's called the CO Snow Map. So it's a Colorado snow map, and it's literally a map overview that you can look at the past 24-hour total, 3-day total, 7-day total, base and last snowfall, as well as a forecast 12-hour, 24-hour, 48-hour, and 7 days in the future. You can favorite your resorts and get a really tight breakdown of upcoming weather conditions. You can click and look at the webcams in the app on your favorite mountains. Some apps that I've seen don't include Eldora, which makes me sad, but this one does. So it's really nice. It even includes like Cooper and stuff.
It doesn't snow at Eldora.
It blows snow in. It counts for that.
I did want to go up there this afternoon.
Maybe
I use the On the Snow app, and I have for years. And then one app that's starting to win my heart is the Epic app that comes with the pass. The reason that I think the Epic app, it does something that none of the other apps do, and it can be your lift ticket.
That is sweet.
And I don't really have a hard time remembering my pass, although I feel like a lot of the people I ski with do, because my pass just lives in my pocket of my ski pants, and I have one pair of ski pants. So as long as I'm wearing pants, I'm good. But the Epic Pass works as your pass. And then you can have your favorite mountains, and it tells you how much snow they got. And then the best thing about the Epic Pass is I made a plan for Vail on Saturday for Sunday by looking at the lift lines, and people still weren't skiing 5 and 17 in the back. And as soon as it got busy, I braved Vail on Sunday, that's something I might not have done 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I knew if I went back to 5 and 17, or I hoped, there wouldn't be people. And sure enough, there was nobody. So I'm a big fan of the Epic app. I don't use the Icon app that much, except to like make reservations. You have to have a reservation to ski Aspen. But I don't use it for like snow reports. I do like to look at how many times I've gone skiing, and I kind of have to combine those two apps to figure out my number, because I use Strava for half the season this year.
Yeah, I like tracking my stuff in Strava. Well, I guess that's another question is, does everyone track their skiing / snowboarding?
I paid $29 this year for the Slopes app, and came as a recommendation that I met a guy on the chairlift, and he was telling me how many runs and vertical feet he had done, and he was getting out of there. It was like 10 a.m. and he had done like 15,000 feet. And I waited a year before I tried it, and I'm a huge fan. And then it imports into my Strava, so I can still have that like historical data over the years. But the Slopes app is amazing. It runs on my Apple Watch, and it lets me see this one thing I want to see all day. How many vertical feet have I skied so far today? So right off the bat, I get to see first run, second run, third run. So I'm a big fan of the Slopes app. And then back to forecasting apps. I'm just On the Snow. It not only does Epic mountains, but it does Icon mountains and then other mountains. Like I have a couple like wishful thinking mountains in there that I want to go ski Sun Valley this year. Whitefish, which isn't on any of the passes, is in the Open Snow app, and I've been keeping an eye on their really rough year.
I've been meaning to talk to you about the Slopes app because I downloaded it after listening to the podcast episode that you guys talked about it, and I couldn't see anything about linking Strava. So I was afraid that you couldn't, and that was a deal breaker. So I'm glad to hear that you can.
And one of the things I missed when I first linked it to Strava is it sent all the data over, but not my heart rate data. And then Strava tracks like how well your training's going and stuff like that. And so then I would have to go in and manually put that in. How was your effort? And I'm always hard on myself, like not very good. And then I Googled it, and somebody said, you got to go into settings and say share heart rate data. So I did. And I haven't been skiing since then, but I assume that's going to fix the problem.
I was super impressed with just the GUI of it. Like it looks like it was designed by Apple itself and on the watch. So I'm excited because I'm a data freak and I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah, and the 3D map. So we've talked, I'm a big fan of these big top to bottom runs. and there's one of them at Vail. And if you didn't know this, be careful, but there's a Strava segment that goes from the top of Rivas to the bottom of the mountain. So it's like 3,300 feet. It's all like blue-black. It's not very difficult, but it's strenuous.
I want to reiterate, be careful.
Yeah, I'm not like promoting race for Strava records.
Do we need or want to bring up the last time he went for a Strava record? I think it was at Eldora. Maybe that's another podcast.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about that. I mean, if we want to talk about,
Let's just say he didn't get it.
if we want to talk about Strava segments, I'm pretty sure I'm still third on top to bottom on Far East at Copper Mountain,
yeah.
and just bring it. Like that's 1.1 miles of bumps and no easy way around it.
Nope.
And yeah, so, but anyway, back to slopes. It integrates and keeps that, transfers it over to Strava and stuff like that. So we're talking about a lot of different apps. I want to go back to the webcams. And why is it that ski areas, they don't seem like they're super direct and honest about, here's how much snow we got. And if you go up there, you're going to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they want you to come up there. I mean, how likely are you, as a person who skis a lot, to go, oh, they got 5 inches. You showed up and you're like, there's no way this is 5 inches. I'm not coming back here because you lied to me.
Yeah, but I'm not going to
likely.
believe them in the future. And I had that thought at Vail on Sunday. I'm up near the top of the mountain on the front side, and there is no more than 4 inches. And you can see where the snow has not been tracked from the day before. And there's no more. And they're saying 9 the day before. And I kind of was like, oh man, we're going to talk about this on the podcast. And then we went to the back and skied a run called Over Yonder. And there it was, all 9 of it, if not a little more. And that's amazing. I mean, I get it. Vail's gigantic, but you're talking as the bird flies, maybe a mile, and the difference between 4 and like 12 inches.
Interesting.
So, but I don't think the ski areas are super forthcoming. And come on, Copper Mountain, fix the light bulb. This isn't a big lift here. And then some of the other places where it just doesn't work. And we talked about this on a podcast once, like Eldora, why don't you show us the lift line? The camera could go 10 degrees to the right and we could see how long the lift line is. And that may discourage us. I get it. But you guys are the one complaining about parking, and you guys are complaining about everybody coming up there. So let us see the lift line. And my hat went off to Copper Mountain on this, is you can see both the Super Bee and the Flyer. You can see the lift line. And yes, that has made me say, should I go up there today, or is it too jam-packed? And if I look at the Super Bee at like 10 a.m. and it's half gate, I'm going.
Right.
But if I look at the Super Bee at 10 a.m. and it's out the gates, I'm probably not going. And why? Let's have an open conversation about this. Why do the ski areas, a lot of them don't want us to see this. They put all this money into webcams, but they don't show us the one thing we want to see. And then they're the ones getting the bad. Look at all the bad press Whistler got.
Dude, it's horrible.
Dude, I was about to say, did y'all
Horrible.
see Whistler?
And look at all the bad press. Like I read the Whistler articles on non-skiing publications that are just like, here's the crazy stuff happening in the social media world. And the Whistler article made those kind of publications, which aren't ski pubs. And yeah, I mean, and maybe, I don't know Whistler well enough. I'm dying to go there. But I don't think they have a webcam that shows that. Or what some of those people said, oh my gosh, it's 7 a.m. and there's a lift line 100 meters long.
Yeah, the video that came out of there was a little...
Dude, the one going up the road?
It was insane.
And like around the corner.
And then around the other corner and then up to another. Yeah, it was insane.
It's like back to the village.
Even on a webcam, you wouldn't have seen that. But I do think what these places could implement, and wouldn't really be that hard, is average wait time. Because I know some people, the
Icon app does that. I mean, the Icon app, you can look at the ski map of Vail. Pull up the ski
the
map.
Epic?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you.
I was like, my icon app doesn't do it.
The Epic app does that. You look at the ski map of Vail and it says the average wait time. No, it's not dead nuts, but I can tell you
Close
one
enough,
thing.
right?
If it says 1 minute, there's no serious waiting at the line. And if it says 15 minutes, stay away.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it could just be red light, green light would be good enough for me. And the last couple times I've gone to Vail, I've done these things I said I would never do. Ski on holidays, ski on weekends. Remember, it was just a couple years ago that Vail was getting
The same press that
Whistler's getting. And I skied there on Sunday, and I'll be honest, I didn't go down to the gondola on the front side after I got up on top of the mountain, but I didn't wait in any lift lines. And when I left, the parking lot was completely full and people were waiting to get in, and we got out of there at 12:30, made it back to the Denver metro area. I was on my sofa by 2:30 with 15,000 vertical feet of skiing bumps and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's almost like right now I could go onto the TSA website for Denver International Airport and it's going to tell me how long north security is, south security is. And I've seen the trail signs that say, 5-minute wait at the T-bar, 10-minute wait at the fly or whatever.
Yeah.
We just need an app that does that for every hill where you can just scroll through the hills and see favorite your own lifts. Like you favorite a resort. It's like
favorite resort.
And when I'm on my way up because I got a late start and it's 10 o'clock, I'm going to go through and be like, oh, well, look at this. Winter Park doesn't have any lift lines anywhere, but Copper and Keystone are jacked.
Yeah.
I mean, and that would be a solution, an easy solution because they have the information.
Well, maybe our friends at On the Snow. I don't think these ski areas want to share this info with other people because
I don't know why though.
Well, I can tell you why is that if you go take out your computer, get on your browser and go try to look at the Vail webcams and it says, here's where you download the app. And so they really go way out of their way to prevent you from doing anything meaningful with Vail. And then in their defense, the app works great.
Right.
We talked about this. It's my first year being back at Vail Resorts, and I'm really pleasantly surprised. The app works well. I haven't needed customer service, so who knows how well that works, but everything's gone smooth. And yes, I've only skied one epic mountain this year, but that'll change before the end of the year.
So let me ask you this. I'm on my Icon app right now and looking at Winter Park. I see for Olympia and Prospector and a couple others a 0 to 2 minute wait.
Oh no.
Is that not live data or is that just like, I mean, that can't be always or average.
They say they have live data at Winter Park because we can talk about that in a second. There's a Winter Park app, which I like.
And maybe that feeds the Icon app as well.
And maybe, I don't know. But the only reason I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that app is accurate is
Because it's closed.
Because it's 4:15.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are just a couple and you can tell they're all closed except for like the base ones. So I actually feel like I kind of trust it. Like it's getting people down.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. And I went to the Vail app since we were talking, the Epic app. And sure enough, they don't say closed. They say scheduled to open tomorrow at 8:30. And there are a couple lifts that are closed. And so they say closed, but the other ones just say scheduled.
Interesting. I didn't know that Icon app did that. So,
we'll have to check it
would
and
be
corroborate some data next time we go.
right now. It would be a 0 minute wait.
Yeah,
There's nobody there.
Nobody there.
It's not running.
Maybe it's still spinning and it's all just automatic.
But that's
so
interesting
once
too.
they hit
If
stop.
we go up to Winter Park and you look at your app and it says 10 minutes, you go wait in line and it's 30, or there is no line, or it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We just find out. That's easy.
Eldora does not have the same features, so it must be related to the Winter Park.
So Winter Park has its own app. I downloaded it this weekend. Like I said, it's an easy way to look at the webcam. And then another one that has their own app. And I wouldn't say like I'm in love with it, but is Copper Mountains app. But I do like that it opens up, and you guys on the podcast can't see, but you guys can. It opens up with this summary page. It tells me it's 13 degrees. There's a 31-inch base. It's windy, 19 lifts open, 104 trails, 26 of them are groomed. And after skiing Mary Jane on Friday, I mean, I'm getting older. I'm 54. I pay attention to the groomed runs now.
Well, here's something interesting. So I downloaded a bunch of apps that aren't just Colorado, aren't just the ones that I ski. Copper and Snowbird are the exact same app. Like
that's
literally
interesting.
the exact same.
Oh.
Whoever developed it developed same. And same for Winter Park and Steamboat. Exact same app.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
And their websites are the same, and their websites kind of suck.
Steamboat has lift data like Winter Park did
Steamboat's
on the
app,
Icon Pass.
ironically, even though Steamboat and Steamboat and Winter Park are the same, Steamboat's app is worse because when you open it up, you have to click one more time to get the snow report. Whereas Winter Park,
There's one
you
less
open
click.
it up, there's one less click, and it shows you how much snow.
Incredible.
And honestly, that's what blows my mind is like, you know what I want to see on the homepage. Don't put it below the fold. Don't put it behind another click. Homepage. And that's why I fell in love with this Colorado snow map, is because you open it up and it's like, all right, 7 days. Here you go. There's all the resorts at once. Forecast. Which, all right, so here is the NOAA forecast through the Colorado snow map app. Eldora over the next 7 days is estimated to get 15 to 33 inches. Winter Park 25 to 50. A Basin 20 to 46. Keystone 17 to 38. Vale 27 to 55. Copper 19 to 40. Steamboat 68 to 114.
This weekend?
Over the next 7 days.
Man,
Sorry.
I'm going out of town
He's going out of
for
town.
work. We have an event in Arizona. So while I'm soaking up the 60-degree desert winter, these guys are going to be skiing
Yeah.
out there. It's all right. It's all right.
You just keep saying that.
Just wait until you get the influx of photos.
I'm done with the podcast. For
So
the
we're
day.
going to Steamboat is what I'm hearing.
Dude, oh man. Dude, in the next 48 hours, they're supposed to get up to 48 inches.
I'm appreciative of Ryan working this weekend because
Me too.
at our business, we need somebody who can lead an event. And Ryan's going to the Rock and Roll Marathon, the Phoenix Rock and Roll Marathon. And so we appreciate that. But yes, I'm planning to ski on Thursday or Friday. I'm ready for Eldora to get snow because we actually do company meetings with not just us, but our clients at Eldora on Fridays. And we haven't been able to do that this year. So we're going to use those apps. So how are you going to decide where you're going to ski this weekend? Are you going to base it off the forecast, or are you going to wait and let it materialize? Like, I think you can count on Steamboat getting good snow,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's
it's a
hard.
long drive.
So I already know I'm going to Winter Park on Sunday with my wife.
Which I see is forecast to see 7 inches on Saturday. So that's probably a good choice.
Yeah. And so Thursday or Friday, I don't know. There's so many choices. I feel like I can't go to Steamboat on a Thursday, but you could potentially go to Steamboat on a Friday, stay ski Saturday and come back Saturday.
Yeah, Steamboat's an overnight trip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day thing.
It's 3 hours from the Denver metro area, so it's almost definitely an overnight.
It just makes the trip more worth it. You could pull it off 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, you get out there at 8, get on the hill at 8:30. And you're gonna have to deal with traffic.
And we're at
Is there
mid-January.
music playing somewhere?
We're at mid-January. I heard that too, but I don't know what it was. We're at mid-January, and so this is a good weekend for skiing because the people from out of town, this isn't a popular weekend for people from out of town. If it snows, it'll be a popular weekend for people local, which Denver metro area is like millions of people.
Yeah.
So it could be very busy at the ski areas. But a place like Steamboat, I think you could probably avoid it.
Yeah.
And Steamboat gets crowded when they're the only ones that get snow. And that's not going to be the case this weekend.
True. But you know what, Ryan? It's also going to be a good weekend for a marathon. So, there's that.
Yeah, I hope it rains or something in Arizona. Just, add insult to injury. But speaking of snow totals and accumulation, my brother sent me, and I think this is another thing that goes along with the apps, is friends and family. Like Dave's folks live in Aspen, and if his folks reached out and said, "Hey, it's nuking up here and there's no sign of letting up," that's a text that you don't take for granted.
Yeah.
Right. And so my brother in Jackson says in the next 42 hours, they're expecting 1 to 2 feet of snow. And his boss pretty much said, "We're skiing today. We're not working." And so he sent me videos and text of it's just absolutely getting annihilated. So
Awesome.
it's snowing. It's snowing. We said it was going to snow, and now it's snowing.
My parents can't be trusted.
Really?
They're ski snobs. Like, and I mean in the opposite direction of what you're thinking. They're like ski snobs. So if it's not like
30 and sunny.
if it's not like premium conditions, like what we would call plush, they'll call it like awful if it's just super carvy, grippy AstroTurf snow, which I'm a fan of on a good day. And they want that kind of conditions you get if you get like an inch a day for a month, where it's just super soft, but it's also not too powdery. So they're snow snobs, and
Can't be trusted.
and if there's like 5 or 6 groups of people in front of them in the lift line, they're going to call it a lift line.
All right. Well, we can rely on some of our family and friends. Apparently, the Downies are untrustworthy when it comes to snow condition reports.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Yeah,
it's good to
great.
know.
It's like these websites. They're just
except in the opposite. They'll tell you
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
the
worth
exact opposite.
it's not worth skiing, and then you'll go and be like,
This was amazing.
it was pretty good.
this is the best conditions I've had all year.
So
But no, I think word of mouth is something that I think people lose sight of. It's a good tool. I know I still got buddies that live up in Georgetown, and if Silverthorne's getting snow, the surrounding hills are probably also getting snow. A Basin, Keystone, Loveland, Copper, probably Vale. There's storms coming through. It's coming through. And then what about social media? Like just following these social accounts, do you see them posting
yeah,
snow totals and say, "Hey, come up! We just got 2 feet of snow. Look at here's Parky the snow dog in the snow."
yeah, social media is great, and that's where the Whistler story broke a whole 3 days before it hit mainstream media. People were posting photos and videos of the lift line in Whistler, and it's the lift line. I didn't see that it was all over the mountain. It was that main base gondola that was blown up. And yeah, social's important. And a lot of people don't like that. If you remember when we did one of our very first How to Ski It videos of Bear Glade and Free Fall Glade,
Yes.
the one comment we got was like, F you for pointing this run out to other people. This run is mine. And we don't.
Yeah, they said like you ruined it for everybody. And
So then we paid to share it.
Yeah. So then we boosted it, and it's on the map. So like,
yeah,
I could see where somebody maybe was a little miffed that we were like, hey, here's this secret run that only locals know about, but that doesn't really exist. And in this one, Bear Glade and Free Fall Glade at Copper Mountain, if you're looking for good double diamond skiing, it's on the map. So just get your map out and look at it.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say if you're up there, go ski it because of that guy.
Because of that guy.
Yeah, go find it and go ski it. You're gonna enjoy it.
And then come and reply to him and tell him how great it was.
Yes.
I do like the social media side of skiing. We saw, when I was driving home from skiing, my wife likes to drive. I like to peruse social media, and I saw like the story about AJ Kit, and we reposted that. 3rd place in the World Cup skiing.
Yeah, she crushed it.
Breakthrough race, and so I love that skiing is very social media savvy. Like, yes, we see college football, but my feed is mainly skiing and stuff like that, and manufacturers. And you know who's beating me up on social media these days, and I want to try it, is that Carve.
Dude, I've got 2, which I find hilarious. First is Carve. You know
want
who
that.
else is beating me up?
Who?
K2.
Yes.
I have gotten so many K2 ads after we've been talking about your skis that it's hilarious.
What's the Carve? Is that the fold up ski?
No, the Carve it's an insole
Oh, yeah.
that goes in your boot, and
do
then
want
you can tell how many turns. And it also says it'll like help coach you. And this may sound a little arrogant. I don't think I need a coach right now at 54, but I would love to hear what it has to say. But most importantly, I would love to see, I think vertical feet is a great barometer. Like there's an equation of vertical feet times difficulty, and that's like how good of a day or how hard of a day you had. But you can also get a really physical day in making a lot of front side ripper turns. And I'd love to see this thing because I did once, and this is going to sound super nerdy. I skied down the front side of Eldora, like on La Belle, and I counted my turns, and it was 250. And that was like turn. Yeah, a lot of turns. And so I'd love to see this number at the end of the day. Like, is 10,000 turns a realistic number? I mean, at a big mountain, it probably is.
Yeah, if you're skiing groomers all morning and you're making turns, even if you're skiing bumps, you get a lot of turns in the bump.
Turn.
More, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Does it count hang time? Because that'd be cool. Like the Garmin on your bike counts your jumps. I want to know how much air time I get in a day.
That's a good question.
Gives you flow barometer.
That is a dangerous game.
Yeah. The jabunk counter. Like how many times did you bunk off something?
Yeah, or were you on one ski?
How many times you double ejected?
Well, maybe somebody out there, if they're either uses Carve or works with Carve, we're not asking for something, but tell us more about it, because I want to try it, and it shows up just like you said, K2.
Yeah,
it shows up like every 20 posts on my thing, and so did the Ray-Ban Metas, and the Ray-Ban Metas won.
Yeah, they did.
And I bought a pair, and we're going to take them skiing, and we're going to post the content to how to ski it.
100% we are. Just a reminder, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, all at How to Ski It.
Send us an email.
You can send us an email at howtoskiit@bcclive.com.
Yeah.
Does that actually work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes to all of us.
It's one of our 3 emails that we have.
And I heard we got back into...
I got back into TikTok.
I think that's the biggest news of today's podcast. TikTok is back. And we got these sweet new glasses to record unlimited content.
So much content. You guys, if you are a TikTok person and you want to see just so much content, we're about to blow that thing up.
Dylan and Marcus today were talking about doing TikTok dances for the glasses.
I'm going to do TikTok dances for the glasses on my skis.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Dude,
Have you guys ever seen ski ballet? No, I'm just kidding.
I have.
Dude, that stuff is wild.
Dude, you know what's been coming up talking about socials? There's a ton of vintage Warren Miller stuff. Like I showed you guys the 10 people skiing on one pair of skis.
Oh, yeah.
Like stuff like that. That's what skiing's missing these days.
Warren Miller.
Yeah, rest in peace. But like that creativity and that fun is what skiing's missing. It's so serious and people are doing such big tricks and just going so fast. It's like someone needs to just break into the scene and be like, I'm the funny guy and I'm really good, and watch this. We're going to have some fun.
Ryan, you want to double up with me?
Nah, I like my knees the way they are.
And if you're not in the endurance space, you don't know Noel Mulkey.
Yeah.
But he likes I don't know. I know him and we're friends, but I don't know why he's living in Vermont now and he's taking up skiing.
Oh, is he?
And he's a social media like megastar.
Yep.
And he's taking up skiing. And so now I'm seeing all this.
Awesome.
A lot of it's Nordic and stuff, but yeah.
And he's hysterical on social. Like he's got a really good
vibe,
satirical vibe going on where he's kind of making fun of everyone all the time.
So we need to do the Noel Mulkey to social media.
Yes.
But back to Warren Miller, we've mentioned every show that we're an AV company, and we got this LED wall. It's like a scoreboard, and we put it together in our studio before we take it to an event, so we make sure everything works. And today we were watching Snow Riders by Warren Miller on it, and
they were at Copper Mountain.
And they were at Copper Mountain,
they were.
and it just made me so excited. I could see from the video that they were skiing Spalding Bowl, and then one guy basically jumped 000, which is just like a steep run. And pretty cool. Like
that was awesome.
You'll never hear us say anything, but we love Copper Mountain's probably my all in all one of my favorite places for the value, the location, the people, the parking. Oh, and that's funny. Snow Riders is 1996.
Yep.
And Warren Miller's plug on it was the parking is free. I didn't remember that was a thing back then, but it's still free.
Still free.
Still free.
Yeah.
And technically you can walk to the Super B. Technically. 7-minute walk.
If you wear snowboard boots.
Yeah.
I've walked it in my ski boots, but
I've seen that sign that says 7-minute walk, and I see the snowboarders doing it, but I haven't been as interested.
I can tell you it's not that bad.
I've been paying
ski boots.
I haven't tried in ski boots.
Okay.
I've been paying top dollar for skiing lately. Although when I went to Winter Park, Mary Jane, and I parked, and this is the best parking and skiing in Colorado. Second best.
Yep.
Because A-Basin is the best. But A-Basin is charging and reservations and stuff for the beach.
What? Are they?
Yeah, but the G-Lot at Mary Jane, you just drive up, you cut your dogs loose, they go meet 100 other dogs, and
see, without the dogs, I'm an arguer for the Utah lot. Just nice and right up on the Challenger lift.
And that's one lift down or one lot down.
Yeah.
That's like the beach version at Winter Park, or the Winter Park's beach.
But with the dogs, though, that's the key for the one above that.
The G lot, though, is right next to the lift, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I was thinking of the Utah lot. Well,
Yeah, you're
there's
thinking
the
of
one
the
right
Utah.
next to it is the
The
challenge.
G's the one you got to walk up the little hill.
Got it.
And then you
Okay.
ski down to the lift.
Challenger,
Down to it. Yep.
Slopes calls that a run.
Really?
Yeah, because it just works off an algorithm, and it's probably once you go a few hundred
Yeah.
Feet up.
feet, and then you do a few 100 feet down, and you probably walk up like 75 vertical feet and ski down 100 vertical feet over a quarter mile. And
Yeah.
It's like first run. So,
Count it.
all right. Well, we got snow coming in the forecast. We're going to report back next week. At least me and Marcus and Dylan are.
I'll be back in early next week.
And
Yeah.
I'm back on Monday.
And we got plans to go to Steamboat. We're hoping to go up there. We're hoping to get to Telluride in the next few weeks. And of course, Winter X in Aspen. Did you guys hear?
No.
Snowmobiling's back?
You need tickets
What?
for Winter X.
Wait, it's not free?
Free tickets? Like you just have to be ticketed?
Check it out, man. There's a lot of confusion, but you need tickets for Winter X. My mom told me, I said, no way. It's all kids. They're not buying tickets. And then she gave me an Aspen Times article, and
No.
it's going to be different this year, and it's going to be different.
That's going to be dumb.
It doesn't affect me because Winter X to me,
I'm just going there to ski.
I'm just going to ski, so it's a good weekend to ski. But
I guess I could see it a little bit. Like they put on some really big name shows and concerts, but
the shows are gone.
What?
Yeah, that's the other part I can.
No.
Yeah. So, and the tickets are expensive. Like
What's
It's
happening?
a VIP package,
Well,
and
I see there's a VIP chalet and an XIP. Like, surely it's not just VIP stuff. Like, surely that's the only one that costs money, right?
check it out.
All right, I just looked it up. It is still free admission to X Fest. You can pay to guarantee competition corral viewing, including all super pipe competitions. So there's still free access to the X Games, but if you want a guaranteed spot in the corral, you can pay for a ticket, and that gives you also like some VIP access stuff as well.
how
So
much?
it really is VIP.
Yeah, VIP, including VIP access to
Got it.
race side viewing.
How much do I have to pay to let me go down the super pipe?
And okay, so to be guaranteed viewing, so we're gonna have to go because there's like an expo, which is good. There's lots of little giveaways and stuff like that. But I guess now my question is, in the X Games, if you haven't been, isn't a great event to go and watch because you can't really get to the places you really want to go.
And you can't see a whole lot. You stand at the bottom of the super pipe and you can see them go up in the air, but on the TV you see like every grab and nook and cranny of the snow.
And it's like having bad seats at a football game. You catch yourself watching the scoreboard,
Yeah.
like the video wall.
Yeah.
And so at the X Games, I caught myself watching the video wall last year because we were in the bar area, so you couldn't really see the slope anyway. But we'll go and check it out. But I know the VIP packages are expensive.
Dude, just the 3-day corral package is $240 for 3-day
full
viewing
3
in the
days?
corral. Yep. Just
That's not too
Friday
bad.
Does it come
Friday
with, like,
night
free booze and drink?
is No, that's just to get in the corral. That's not VIP.
Oh, snap.
That's just
to see the
to
event
watch the
from-
pipe.
And that could be on top of the deck of the pipe though, for all we know, which would be pretty sick.
No, they have a map of where it's at. It's not it's
No.
just along the side of the super fan and VIP are the ones up on the side of the slope, on the side of the pipe. the base, right at the base, is where the corral is. So I was wrong. There is, to get right up to the base of the thing. That's the ticketed corral. You have access to the X Fest for free. So free viewing is all behind the corral, which is where you guys were last year.
Would be. Yeah. Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to go and
we'll take photos,
report back. And if you guys remember last year, there was a couple really critical social media posts from people I respect in the industry, like Todd Richards is a snowboarder like my age, who is one of the X Games 1 winners and stuff like that. And they kind of were like, this is the beginning of the end, because it was so TikToked out. You know, a lot of the promos were like TikTok dance, and the performance of the athletes was still top notch, progressive, the best in the world. So that's not changing. But the flair of the event, I noticed it last year. I had a great time. We went to the event. I have nothing but good things to say about it. But you could kind of sense this. I felt like I could sense this beginning of the end. And now we're pulling the bands out. And now it's costing money for something that maybe was, you know, some people had predicted its demise beginning last year. So this is, to me, is going to be a very pivotal year of the X Games. I hope for the best. It's what brought extreme sports like the pipe and all that stuff. It's what made it, the X Games made it mainstream. The X Games is why it got to the Olympics. The X Games is why all these Shaun Whites and all these people became icons, is because of Winter X. So I wish the best for it, but I worry charging people to watch skiing and stuff.
It loses the cool factor a little bit.
I'll go skiing 100 times over and go home and watch it on TV, but it is better on TV anyway. So
see, but that's what's wild, is the idea of like, hey, guess what? This year you're going to pay, and also there's not even going to be musical guests.
But the expo's free.
The expo is free, and you can stand really far away and watch it.
We're jerks because we put on events for a living, and now we're bashing on another event. So
I will say the beers weren't that expensive when we were up there, though. The Pacifico.
They were a good sponsor.
Yeah.
I like beer that has more beer in it than
Me
Pacifico,
too,
but
but at Aspen for $5 a can wasn't that bad.
yeah, and
Like it's outrageous for Pacifico, but at the same time,
not in Aspen. It's not.
yeah,
No.
they could be charging $12 like they do at the stadiums, and they don't. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge
I want to see what the cool factor's like.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of the X Games. Let's leave it at that. I'm a huge fan of the X Games. Cost money to get a seat this year. Expo's free, no bands. We're going to do a podcast from up there. I'm guessing we'll record it Saturday night, so we'll get to ski Friday, watch Winter X Friday night, and then maybe do a podcast Saturday night.
Love it.
Hear all about it. We'll do a whole podcast dedicated.
Hopefully we'll find somebody
Winter
from
X.
K2.
Yes. Make them answer for what they've done.
I'm a big fan of K2 skis. I'm just not happy how they lasted, but I really enjoy skiing on my Mindbender 98s. I'm just saying. They'll be at the X Games, I'll bet. We're going. So we'll you know, all the speculation and conjuncture doesn't mean anything. We're going to go and check it out. We're in the 20s of X Games, have made some kind of effort to go almost every year. I remember being at the event you're going to one year during X Games and watching it on the tube.
Yeah, I will pay for a ticket if they bring snowmobiling back.
They're not bringing snowmobiling back. And
I know they're not, but
they're
they
not
would.
doing bands. And
Are they doing any skiing?
yeah, they'll have all the best
You
skiers
should
and
be sure.
snowboarders in the world, but it's definitely, things change. I'm not going to, you know, we put on events for a living and nobody understands why we make changes to the events. And sometimes we don't understand, but it makes it that much harder when people are beating up on you and the event hasn't happened yet. So we're going to give Winter X and Aspen the benefit of the doubt. January 26th through 28th at the foot of Buttermilk, which is part of the Aspen Snowmass conglomeration of 4 ski areas. And we're going to go ski probably 3 of them. We'll go ski Ajax one day, Highlands one day, and Snowmass one day.
We'll do a podcast.
And we'll do a podcast.
from the X
Yeah.
Winter X. If we can't get in, we'll get to the lot and we'll at least do a podcast.
Live stream it from those meta glasses.
or from my parents' house if that's the way it has to go down.
That too. Don't matter to me.
They're out of town. They're in Uray. So that's why we're going to go check out Telluride. And they've asked us to come down there. And now we have the Epic Pass, which should get you on the mountain at Telluride. All right. Well, this about wraps it up. Join us again every week. How to Ski It. Marcus, give them the plug again of all the...
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, all at How to Ski It.
Can I press the button again?
Absolutely, you can, but I'm not going to do it for you this time.
Dude, come on.
All right, here you go.
That's it. How to Ski It podcast, episode 8.
Oh, we were going to talk about music too. Oh, well, next time.
Next time.
All right, episode 8, How to Ski It. By skiers, for skiers, from skiers, to skiers.
Wait. You should just pre-record that plug and just drop it in when you need it.
Just make it one of these sound
I
bites.
thought we said we weren't going to do that like every other podcast. Find your
Finish line.
finish line.
Do I have to cut that out?